Welcome back, everyone, to Chasing the Light, a monthly tarot forecast. My name is Ingrid. Let's get started. Last month, did you see the Lovers and the Devil tarot archetype play out? It was palpable. First, when we're looking at the Lovers and the Devil, it's really a battle between love and hate. And one of the ones predictions that kind of like stood out when we're looking at these archetypes is the choice in the Democratic primaries in New York City, and how the majority of the voters in the Democratic primaries voted for a candidate known as Zor Ron Mamdani. I hope I pronounced his name right. But it was massive because, again, the Lovers is about choosing. And choosing what? Choosing between what you know to be good and what you know to be bad. It's a choice between love and hate. In this case, it was a choice between um, the established democratic system that's really not helping the quote unquote Democrats at all, Democratic voters, and the unknown, right? Someone who is expressing more power to the people. And this was an incredible defeat for some reason for the Democratic Party. You would think that if they're putting a Democrat on their ballot, no matter who the people chose, that they would support them. But no, they don't want this quote unquote progressive energy to come up to the forefront because it would mean that the established system would crumble. And one of the first things that I noticed was immediately the day after this young man, he's only 33, Mamdani won the Democratic primary to be mayor of New York City. The established Democratic Party, the senators, I believe it was Schumer and Gillibrand. I'm not I don't remember the other, but they came out full force against this guy, claiming that he was an anti-Semitic person. And what I found really interesting, it was just fascinating because they had the pulpit, right? They had the press on their side, huge press conference about this. And she went on and she was like, "Oh, I've reached out to him to have a one-on-one." But in the meantime, she goes and she has this press conference. Now, the press is already, as we all know, this is not a big secret. They are bought and paid for. Um, but what I found really interesting is that at the same time that they're having this press conference, we have Republicans calling to deport this young man, and not a peep from the established democratic system saying that that's wrong. This is a legal person, a naturalized citizen who has the right to run in this election. Not a peep. Also, the level of vitriol on anti-Islamic engagement against this man for being Muslim, off the scale disgusting. And not a peep from Chuck Schumer, not a peep from Gillibrand. Really, really interesting because when we see this, I feel like the people in New York are not fooled anymore, right? They made the choice, right? That's the lover's archetype. They made the choice that they felt was the loving choice. This person is talking about affordable housing, free transportation for hardworking New Yorkers, etc. All of these things that people actually really want to hear. We don't know if it's going to be implemented, but we at least want to hear you say it. Um, versus Cuomo, an established Democrat, who, when told or asked, why are you running again? His response was, well, it's what my my family has done for generations, you know? So nothing about the people, nothing for the people of New York. This was clearly about him and his family legacy. So that was really interesting. The other aspect of June that was interesting with that lovers and devil archetype was the march, right? The army march with the alleged president of the United States, because there's just all this rumor that that was stolen, etc. I don't know what's what anymore. That march in juxtaposition with the march against having kings in the United States, or having oligarchs in the United States, or having, and it wasn't just marches in the United States, it was around the world, supporting this march as well. And again, the power was with the people. They're making this quote unquote loving choice, or the choice they feel is loving versus the one that they feel is disruptive or challenging, right? Then there was another choice that was made. And if you remember last month's video, there was this handshake, and I said the handshake of the agreement to do evil, right? Or to do wrong. And that was the agreement, I feel, between Israel and, again, this administration here in the United States to have this war on Iran. And so that's really interesting. The people have not really spoken out in mass on that choice that was made, but we definitely felt this energy of like, oh, we're gonna have to face off with this devil archetype. So that was really interesting. I hope you saw how all of this was playing out in the month with this lover's archetype and the devil archetype. Okay? So now let's look at July, because July is a continuation of a story on this whole Israel, the United States, and Iran, I believe. So let's go on to the next slide. So for the month of July, we have the Hermit, the Chariot, and the Tower Tarot players here. So when I said that the people haven't spoken out about this war with Israel, Iran, and the United States, kind of in between all of this stuff, I wasn't really referring to an opinion, right? Of course, people around the world have expressed their opinion about this world war. Um, but we haven't seen some sort of mass demonstration. And I think with this energy of the Chariot card here in the mix, um, if we do see something like that, it might be this month. So, as you know, the Hermit is with us for the entire year, every month, and that's because it's a Hermit year. And this Hermit is here really to help us this month to find our way. So hold on to the light source within you, especially this month, as we seem to collectively being uh, sort of charging forward toward something destructive, right? So again, the Hermit, I feel this month is here to help us find our way. Now, when we see the Chariot and the Tower together, it's sort of like we're heading towards um, sort of hitting a roadblock, or hitting something that can break apart with this energy of war. Um, Oftentimes when we see the tower, we see this lightning kind of like just out of nowhere destroying some sort of foundation, right? So, this energy for this month, there's going to be a shocking revelation, as if we haven't been shocked already, right? And I keep bringing up this war thing because there has been, certainly in the last week, sort of revelations about Was this a targeted attack on Iran? Did Iran know? They moved their nuclear, um, materials. Were they forewarned, etc.? And then there was this other sort of headline news saying that Iran told the president of the United States that there were going to be some sort of false flag attacks. We do not know what in God's name is going on, and we don't seem to know what's true and what's not true. Now, when we see a tower and a chariot, we're going to see with our very own eyes this combustible energy. The chariot, of course, is always about movement. It's about momentum. It's about feelings of victory, right? It's a very fast moving energy. But when it's next to the tower like this, it's almost like the chariot's movement, um, kind of like abruptly stops because the wheels are coming off. It's like something is escalating out of control or out of proportion even with everyone else's reality. So there are some big players here, obviously individuals with access to weaponry, right? That may be leading us to this energy of the tower that could possibly leave us all bruised up. So this is the energy that I'm kind of feeling with this tower and this chariot energy kind of coming up with us in July. So again, hold on to the light. Stay in your light source. Stay in the frequency of light. And what do I mean by light? I mean, man, go into prayer. Go into your connection with your divine God. Whatever that is that can really bring peace into your inner world, right? That is what I mean by the light. But when we have this engagement, the hermit, the chariot, the tower, something is going to be revealed to us this month that's going to have us charging forward into this space of destruction. Ordinarily, when we saw the chariot also, it was the house of quote unquote God, this energy of the house of God. So I wouldn't also be surprised if some of the information had to do with um, spiritual institutions, maybe as well in this engagement, in addition to this whole Israel, US potentiality there of combustible energy. I am also seeing something with perhaps an institute, a religious institution. All right, that's the energy that's coming up for July. But again, that's on the global perspective, on the collective perspective. On the individual perspective, again, you want to hold on to the light, move forward, and remove anything in your world that you know is not working, right? Part of the tower archetype is that it falls apart, not because we didn't see it coming, but because we were ignoring the things that we needed to change. All right? So, happy July, everyone. Move forward, change the stuff that you know isn't working for you, and keep in that field of light source within yourself. All right. Chat with you next month. Bye.